loser, bro.
All right, we back. New episode of Just Landing, man. Jetsetters edition, man. I got somebody, man, who been hard. Like, as long as I've been doing the antidote, I think I done got him do maybe one interview. And even, it was two. My bad, because you did jump. Yeah, you did jump show. Yeah, so look.
Y'all don't go look that up.
I got Denver Springs finest, man. Baton Rouge finest as well, but you know what I'm saying? Like you really hold it down for Denver. Let the people know who you are, man.
Bullet Jones, man. Y'all know who it is.
Jones.
Man,
what's good, Bullet? What's good, man?
Same old shit, man.
Yeah. So, man, I know a lot about you, but this is an introduction to a few people. So, let them know, I guess, who you are and how you got started, man.
Bullet Jones got started originally as Randy Savage. That's what they called me back in Denham when we was coming up. I started rapping. I started really kind of playing with the idea of rapping probably in like junior high, but didn't really start really knowing I could and trying to get these bars out till I was probably in high school. Yeah. And even then I'm just kind of writing verses and storing them in my head, and I'm just rapping them at the lunch table and for the homies and stuff. I never really recorded no raps until after high school.
So look, I want to ask you a side question because I know we're going to the history, but you said something that sparked me. You with your lyrics, you have a certain kind of complexity with your wordplay.
Uh-huh.
Were you always kind of on that type of time with your raps, or was it a situation where you kind of evolved into what you are today?
I pretty much always like that. Like early in my life, I'm the oldest in my family, oldest kid, so I didn't have no older cousins or nothing that I was particularly close to that I spent a lot of time around. I do have older cousins, but I didn't spend a lot of time around them. So the music I found was on my own. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't even listen to like Southern rap other than the stuff that was real big. No Limit, Cash Money, Outkast. That was big at the time, but I was really only seeing that on TV with videos and stuff, and I didn't really listen to that. I listened to a lot of East Coast rap.
Yeah.
I really started, getting into hip hop, like right in the midst of the East Coast, West Coast shit. And as a young kid, I sided with the East Coast. I wasn't even from there, but that was the thing, East Coast, West Coast, and I was a much bigger fan of people like Jay and Nas and Biggie. And a lot more East Coast rappers than West Coast. I liked a little bit of Tupac, but I really didn't get into that too deep. So the East Coast is kind of known for a little more complexity in their lyrics, and so I think I always gravitated towards that because that's how I came into being a fan of hip hop, was really with the East Coast stuff. And maybe when I first started rapping, I was trying to kind of do like the down south kind of thing, like or more specific like the BR sound, but I was still trying to rap in a more lyrically complex style. So I rapped over a few Boosie and Webby beats or something probably, but after that I was like, nah man, I'm gonna just do it how I do it. And then over time I kind of evolved into where I do have a little more of a Southern style infused into it, but I've always been about bars though. I don't care too much for making people dance. Getting in the clubs and strip clubs, all that shit don't really appeal to me. I make music for people to listen to in their car or in their headphones. That's what I'm more about.
Right. So we kind of moved around a little bit. We're gonna kind of double back. Mm-hmm. So after high school, what it was for you?
So after high school, that was the first time I got in the studio. It was like the summer after, probably just a couple weeks after I graduated. And man, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know who these dudes was. Like I rode with somebody. We went to some trailer in somebody's house, and they had a studio in the bedroom.
Shit, that sound like Hustler House.
Yeah, it wasn't Hustler. It was a white dude, I recorded. Matter of fact, I recorded over a Webby beat. I don't remember what beat it was, but
I like
Webby
do it
beat.
big or something.
And I'll just and I'll just put some bars on there. Just a freestyle, just like almost like the Nappy Roots song, 48 bars and no hook, like it just rapping.
Yeah.
And I did that. That was the first time I'd ever been in the studio. And but it wasn't until probably a year or two later where I really started making connections with people and finding out where I could go to record things, pay for studio time, stuff like that, where I really started trying to take the music thing serious and recording more frequently and actually releasing my music and stuff like that. And then I had a kid, and I kind of put everything on the back burner.
Okay.
Years.
Okay. So what got you back to the music?
Okay. So I got back into it probably 2016. I pulled up on Marcel P. Black. Shout out Marcel. At one of his events he used to do out here called Fade to Flows. And we was in there just running it. And he prior to me, shutting it down for a few years, I was starting to do some open mics and showcases around BR and kind of starting to, build a little bit of a buzz. Nothing too crazy, but a little something. And Marcel, remembered me from that time. And we was talking after we had become Facebook friends and stuff like that in the meantime. So we had kind of kept up with each other through the years. But I pulled up over there on him, and after the show, we was talking. He was like, "Say, bro, like when you gonna get back to making music? You really got something to say. You got a voice and a perspective that's needed. And so that kind of gave me the confidence boost I need. I just kind of told him like the real, like, bro, I got kids, I got a family. I don't really have the extra finances to put into the music right now.
Right.
And that's when he introduced me to you. We started a little partnership. Got me on Real Profit Entertainment, and we started working on some new music.
Yeah. So what was that new music? What was the first thing that you kind of put together?
First thing was Blue Collar Blues, the album,
Yeah.
and that was a long process itself, just because of the Blue Collar Blues. Working a lot, trying to get back into the rhythm, trying to of recording and doing music, and but we got it done though, and I felt like it's low key a classic album.
Yeah. So with it being such a well put together album, say I'm gonna pat myself on the back, you pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
What stood out on the project? I know a lot. It tells a story, so I know everything is important.
Right.
But any records that you made that you was like, damn, I really did that. That was an amazing record I put together.
Okay. So Vice is probably my favorite off the album. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a huge standout, but it's just it's kind of I make it a little bit comedic. Is a slight hint of comedy to it, a twist to it, but it's
got some reality.
But it's all reality. It's kind of laugh so you don't cry type shit.
Yeah.
And so that one's kind of personal. So it kind of hits deep when I listen back at that one. Another one that's like that, similar kind of thing is Better Days. I talk about some personal, family losses and things like that in that song, and so that one kind of hits every time. But as far as ones I felt like I kind of did something.
Yeah.
Max growing up was probably, if not my favorite BR rapper, definitely top 3. I feel like he's arguably the greatest rapper from Baton Rouge ever. You could argue with somebody else, but he was one of the people actually that let me know it was possible for me to be on a little more lyrical tip.
Yeah.
From BR
and still make some noise.
Have people respect it and make some noise with it. But getting him on Stressed Out was big for me.
Station.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Station. I was about to talk about Stressed Out next.
Okay.
But yeah, getting him on Station. Was a big deal for me. That was like kind of a bucket list. It was somebody I always wanted to work with since I first even started thinking about rapping.
Right.
So that was that. And then in a similar way, Lil One is probably, as far as people that's more in my age group, Lil One's probably one of my favorite rappers. And I feel like one of the better rappers from BR that's kind of like in my age. And so getting him on Stressed Out.
Yeah.
was dope.
And I'm gonna tell you something too that a lot of people don't realize, because they know you for the hip hop and kind of dealing with that artist and crowd. But DJ Be Real actually produced Stressed Out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So a lot of people probably don't even know that he was the producer of that record. And the Rinse Do record as well.
Yeah, he did Rinse Do also.
Yeah.
And he did Cruising on my new album.
You're right. And
that's a combination of I mean, that Cruising is not really that same type of sound, but that's something I like to do every now and then, is kind of get out of my box a little bit and do something people don't really expect.
Yeah. So before we move on to Cruising though, any lasting effects from Blue Collar Blues that
I think it opened a lot of people's eyes, introduced a lot of people to me. Opened their eyes to what I was doing. And I think as a rapper, as an MC, I think I just gained a lot of respect. People know, okay, this dude really do this.
Yeah, I went to your show in Denham where you had opened up for Tebow and South Coast Coalition.
Shout out to Tebow and South Coast.
I mean, I feel like that was a game changer for you, because a lot of people who wasn't aware of you might have became aware of you, and the fact that you put on a pretty solid performance to where people realize that you really do this.
Shout out to Tebow, man. He reached out to me. That was actually his album release party for
Trailer Park
God.
Yeah.
And I had just recently release Blue Collar Blues, and I think South Coast Coalition had released a project.
Yeah, they just did too.
That compilation tape or whatever.
Matt had just pulled up not too long ago.
Really?
He had left like right when you had pulled up.
Oh man. Yeah, shout out to Matt, man. I ain't seen him do in a minute.
Yeah.
But he cool. He good people, man. He always holler at me every time we run into each other, whatever. But I did that show in Denham, and it was dope being in my hometown. It was cool because I didn't bring all them people out there. Tebow did, you know what I'm saying? But I converted a lot of people. It was a lot of people who never heard of me, or maybe they had heard of me but wasn't really familiar with what I was doing. And after the show, man, I sold a lot of merch. I talked to a lot of people, That was a dope experience.
Hey, brother, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That felt like being in a white Bella Noche that night. Cause it was packed and it was lit. They was turned up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you the truth too. That was a little different experience for me. First of all, I don't even care to go out too often, but I never been nowhere like that.
Look, let's go into this too, man. You had mentioned earlier about your thing for East Coast music, and you had a collaboration where a lot of people probably wouldn't have seen that one coming. Baton Rouge to Buffalo featured El Camino. Tell me about how that came about. Yeah,
that was actually like you said, probably a lot of people wouldn't see that coming. I mean, if you know me, you get it. Yeah. But just it probably did come kind of out of left field.
The fact that it even happened, and
to be able to make it happen, and all that.
Look, it's not one of those situations where he emailed you the verse.
Right.
You and him did that record in the studio.
Yep. It was. Yeah. So that just happened. His mother actually lives in Baton Rouge, and he was in town visiting, I guess, and he had actually posted on his Instagram, if anybody want to get in the studio or whatever, he was doing verses. So I reached out to him, and we made that happen. He pulled up at the studio, we got in there, the rest is history, we made that thing.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Anything that stood out during the collaboration with him? Anything that you saw that, maybe wasn't expected? I'll tell you what I didn't expect.
What's that?
After we were done recording the record, you know what I'm saying, he told us about the kind of records he would like to make.
Right,
yeah. And it wasn't necessarily of the same nature of what everybody knew him of.
Not a lot of that grimy like boom bap that they know him for. He was, and I believe he kind of stepped out into it a little bit since then. He was talking about wanting to do more trap type stuff. Stuff like that, which I wouldn't necessarily expect that. Also, I knew he spent a lot, some time down here growing up or whatever, but he started talking about, different artists that's from here that, people up in Buffalo probably never heard of,
Right.
I mean, Max was one of them. Max Minnelli was one of them, which just goes to show you, you know, how well respected his pen game is, right? But he so that was another thing, just how familiar, even though he did live here, but just how familiar he was with some of the
we had
not people like Boosie and Gates and Youngboy. Like,
I mean, we had some mutual homeboys. He was actually cool with some of the rappers from the hood boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lewis. You know, shout out to Big B. You know, and the rest of them boys, man. So look, expect to see any kind of visuals, anything for Baton Rouge, Buffalo, anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we got some footage from when we was in the studio. I'm hoping to, you know, maybe incorporate some of that, get some shot and put out and kind of re-release the song as a single coming up soon.
Yeah, definitely. So you got a project that dropped last year. You know what I'm saying, for the summer, Cruising.
Yep.
Man, tell me about that. What was the thought process in Cruising?
Cruising was kind of a project. I just kind of felt like I needed to get something out to the people. It had been a while with COVID and everything. It had kind of slowed me down, kind of stopped all the momentum I had coming off of Blue Collar Blues.
Yeah.
But you know, I was ready. It was past due to get something out to the fans and everything. And I've always been my two biggest inspirations musically is probably like East Coast and Houston. Yeah. And so I kind of wanted to pay a little homage to the Houston rap. And you could definitely hear them vibes in the album when you listen to it. Yeah. But yeah, that's all that was. Just,
you know, I didn't even think about this till now. Putting that album together, you know, I did a lot of tracks on Blue Collar Blues, but I also did, you know, a few tracks on that Cruising.
Right. Yep.
And really, those two are two totally different vibes.
Totally different.
But it still worked out as if it wasn't two different vibes.
Right.
Well, what you think was the connection as to why it was like that?
I think, like you say, the fact that, you know, you produce a lot of it, so you know there's gonna be that connection. It's gonna be weaved together in some way. Just because even if the beats overall kind of got a little bit different vibes to them, it's still gonna have the same thing, and then I'm rapping over them. So
yeah. I ain't gonna lie, Bully. You be hurting me when you don't drop, man, because I do get a few females off your music, so I be needing you to drop more often. You know what I'm saying? So I can say, yeah, I produced that.
Right. I'm glad I can help you with that.
Yeah. So Cruising, anything on that particular project stood out to you? Anything that you go back and be like, yeah, I'm really rocking with that record tough.
Yeah. Man, On God is like a lot of people tell me that's their favorite off the project.
Yeah. Shout out to Folk Fever.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy T Sosa from back from Denim. You know, we had been talking for a while about getting on something, and I just I came up with the hook for that one. I was like, man, this kind of perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it's the perfect in between for my sound and his sound, and I feel like we executed that. Then I paid a little homage to Pac on there as well.
Yeah.
He's got the Picture Me Rolling sample, and you know some of my vocals in between verses. You know, paying a little homage to Pac.
Yeah. You know what? That need to be one of the next visuals we shoot.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Me and Sosa talked about it. We just never had a chance to make it happen over the summer.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you too. A lot of your features on that particular project came hard too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you
got pretty much everybody.
Yeah, you got hard verses out of a lot of people on that one.
Yeah.
I think one that stood out to me in particular was Blaze verse on that Fat Pat.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which was dope because Fat Pat actually wasn't even gonna be on the project. That was added last minute. I heard the beat. I think you had sent me a few beats.
Yeah.
And just in case I wanted to try to add anything or start working on something else. And the verse I put on there just came so easy. And I came to the studio that day and recorded my part. And then Blaze just happened to be in there, and he just wrote his real quick, went in there and recorded it. So that song actually came together like real quick at the last minute.
Yeah, that's crazy too. Thinking about it, Blaze wrote that verse on the spot.
On the spot. Yeah.
Like he was done in 10 minutes. Went in the booth, one take, and then he came out.
That's why I say it kind of that thing just
Yeah, and then you had the other record with Dylan too, man. That was kind of at the.
That was another one.
We did that on the spot too.
That was last minute too.
Yeah.
Work. Yeah, that was the same way as the one with Blade, Fat Pat.
Yeah. So overall, how you feel about the project?
The funny thing about cruising is, I was kind of sitting on. I had heard a lot of stuff for so long, so I think it weighed when it was new to everybody else, it wasn't new to me no more. So I wasn't as excited about putting it out as I was for like Blue Collar Blues or most music I put out. But I still think it's aging well, I feel like, and it definitely got a good reception.
Right.
I probably wasn't expecting that great of a reception just because of how I was looking at it.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of got that from our conversations. Right. It was old to you. It
was old to me, so I'm not even thinking it's going to do nothing. But a lot of people reached out to me, people I even heard from in years, called my phone like, hey, bro, I heard the new album, all this.
You know what, though? I think that is kind of a timeless situation because even the production on my end, all those tracks was made, at least 2020 and back. You know, Jealousy and Hate was made back in like 05, 06.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it stood up, to this point,
that's kind of what I always been about too. Like I don't want to make trendy music. You know what I'm saying? I want to make timeless music. I want to make music that people, they might not hear it for the first time till 10 years after I drop it, but it still makes sense. You know?
Right. So speaking of that, let's get into the new music.
Mm-hmm.
I know you releasing one single for sure, that Category 5. What's up with that?
Yeah, Category 5. That's something I, again, just listening to beats one day, and words just start coming to me, and I just it just all kind of came together on its own, unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And it turned out I'm gonna release that as a single too, coming up soon. That's also produced by Doja Burner.
Yeah, Doja getting all the goddamn placements lately, man.
Yeah, I like Doja because, man, he's so versatile, bro.
Yeah.
Like he'll have Baton Rouge club records, and then he'll send me some shit that sound like it's from some grimy East Coast shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
And I've been on his beats for like all the different styles he make, whether I'm featured on a song or my own shit or whatever.
Yeah, you got that one record, One Call with Delwyn and the rest of the family. You know what I'm saying? And
I ain't gonna lie to you. People tell me that's the standout verse. Hey. That's what they say. But like I said, I enjoy doing songs like that where I could step out of my lane that I typically get in, but I do it in my way. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't claim or pretend to be nothing I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm able to tell a story that fits any certain kind of street topic or anything, but it's from my own perspective and the way the way I look at it.
Well, you just made me think about something. We got a record that I got on in the vault that we might need to double back on. That Think It Over record.
Oh yeah. I remember doing that one.
Yeah.
That was some storytelling stuff, I believe, if I remember right.
Right.
Man, I don't remember my verse on that, but I remember doing it.
Yeah,
I rember doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that to you, bro, cause I mean, with you doing so much music for 2024 and content, you might end up seeing something like that back around.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Any other plans? Like, what's the plans for this year, man?
The plan for this year was just get more focused. Stop. Be more intentional about it. What I'm doing with the music. You know what I'm saying? In the past, I kind of been just so overwhelmed, thinking, man, I got to do projects. I got to get these singles and videos and all this out. But kind of really just this year, I want to kind of focus on one thing at a time, and put more into each thing I'm doing.
Yeah. Because
in the past, I've done a lot of thinking about what I'm gonna do, and just thinking about it gets so overwhelmed because I want to do so much.
Right.
I got ideas for concept projects, and I got ideas for songs and stuff that I ain't even heard the beat for yet. You know what I'm saying? So like,
it's just time to get the music done.
It's just time to start getting shit done, and also trying to focus on getting more content for social media, because that's really like I've been realizing over the past few years that that's really kind of the new wave. It ain't really doing as good as it used to just put music out and put the music videos on YouTube and trying to push things that way. Like you got to really grind with the social media aspect too. So I've been trying to.
So do you like that aspect of it? Do you like how it's done now, or you prefer how it used to be?
I mean, it's a gift and a curse, you know, especially to older, you know, people who's a little older and remember the way it was before that. You know what I mean? But it'll get your. I've already experienced my music reaching people it would have never reached without social media. You know what I mean? So in that aspect is great, and I'm glad we got it. But it's just all about learning. You know, there's a learning curve to it, and learning how to use it and the best ways. So I ain't trying to sound like an old man, but that's how I feel sometimes, trying to learn how to navigate the social media.
Yeah, I mean, it's a science to it anyway.
Yeah, right.
You can't just jump out the gate and think you don't have it understood.
That's what I'm trying. I'm just trying to, trying to maximize that side of it and get as much as I can out of it.
Right.
But it's definitely pros and cons to it for sure.
So let me ask you this, going into that. Anything in particular we need to look out for? What's the next singles that may be dropping, or anything you featured on that you know gonna be out there?
Definitely got Category 5 and Baton Rouge to Buffalo. We'll be dropping those singles coming up, pretty soon. I don't have no date on them yet, but we're gonna definitely be getting those out soon.
Yeah. I got one for you. That A. Marie with you and D-Lane.
Oh yeah. That's on Doja's album.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Me and D-Lane, shout out to D-Lane. Me and D-Lane go back to my Randy Savage days. We actually worked together in the past back then. But we got that record on Doja's album, and that's gonna be. I like the verse I put on that one too. I've been really tapping into a different lane. People probably some of the newer music. I'm not gonna say people be shocked, but it was definitely some real, Southern country rap tunes type vibes to the blue collar blues and cruising that you might not hear for a little while longer now. It's gonna be a little, more boom bap type. So
yeah, definitely. So Bullet, we gonna go ahead and wrap up. We gonna do a part 2 though, because I done got you in front of this camera. You comfortable now. So
I don't know about comfortable. But, hey,
so we gonna definitely do a part 2.
We can do another one
because you working and we turning up for this 2024, man. Definitely. So before we go, man, let them know where they can follow you at.
You can find me at I Am Bullet Jones on everything. If I got it, that's where to find me. Yeah. Twitter or X or whatever. Instagram, Facebook, everything is I Am Bullet Jones.
That's a bet. Look, make sure y'all follow me, International Joe on the track. Make sure you follow the Antidote Network. Watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, YouTube. I know I usually be saying some crazy stuff after that, but y'all be so serious, man. Where I feel kind of guilty saying some of the stuff I say. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. And we just landed, man, and we out.